After reading a review of Alice, featuring Keke Palmer, I couldn't help but reflect on how many people under religion today are just like Alice, trapped, unaware of their freedom, and conditioned to obey without question. Today, under religion, many people live just like Alice, trapped under spiritual manipulation, taught to surrender your life, obey without question, or else burn in hell. They call it faith. But what if it's actually fear? What if you're already free and just don't know it yet? This video is for the ones waking up, those questioning the system and choosing truth over false tradition. Let's talk about it.
Religion has wounded us in Africa. It has not allowed us to employ our mental capacity. Because instead of engaging reasoning and logic, we engage religion.
Do you know how I knew, I was brainwashed in a sense as I started to deconstruct? How do I know more about the lineage of Christ and Christianity than my own ancestors?
Damn.
Am I bugging or something?
You're not bugging.
To think that I knew so much about the death of a man 2,000 years ago and not even my own great-grandfather, maybe people who were possibly slaves, how they survived. To think that I was so emotional about the death of a man 2,000 years ago who probably wouldn't give two flying hells about me and didn't know me, yet my great-grandparents who were possibly slaves and me possibly, or even any of us being descendants of slaves and not knowing jack all about it. And this is how you know colonialism has done a number on us.
Because you cannot have 2 million Jews who die in Germany and you coin up words, anti-Semitism, anti-what, to protect the Jews. And you look over your shoulder, you have more than 100 million blacks who have died and have been killed. And there's no one who has come up with a concept of anti-black. And Jews are allowed to celebrate. And if you say anything against the Jews, then you are labeled as anti-Semitic.
But can't black people do the same thing?
We don't have control over the system that narrates this story so that we can actually begin to say, you cannot say to me 2 million Jews, whether it is true or it is exaggerated. That's a conversation for another day. But 2 million Jews die. Hitler is the most horrible man. Leopold kills 20 million Africans, and he's still not the most West man that ever lived. Can you process that? Hitler kills 2 million white people. He's the most evil man that ever lived.
Religion was a weapon being used to colonize. White is good, white is pure, black is bad. White magic is yay, black magic is bad. White religion is yay, black spirituality is nay. And even black spirituality is still a nay if you look at the global consciousness of spirituality. Because that is a rhythm dance with everything that is Africanist without taking the people of Africa in the center. It's in a language, specifically Dutch language. Oh, fuck. Blackmailing. We say zwart maken. It's making black. It's like in talking, making someone look bad. Black money is illegal money. That is a collective trauma. Because if I have to identify as a little kid as black, oh hell no. I'm not African. I'm a Creole, whatever that might mean. Self-hate, because everything that you see is bad. Every image that you see of yourself is bad. So there's also a difference between trauma and collective trauma.
A Ugandan politician is getting roasted because after getting cancer and treatment in Germany for 6 months, he built a church in Uganda, not a hospital. This is how he explains it.
In November 2022, I was diagnosed with cancer of the throat. And I underwent chemo and radiotherapy. And I stayed in Germany for 6 months. And I recovered. When I got up out of that nasty experience, I promised God and myself that I will build him a church in his honor.
I use the example of religion, and I use an example of myself growing up in Zimbabwe. The British did not come to Zimbabwe until 1896. Prior to their coming, we did not know of white color or black color. We were Africans. We were Africans. But the missionaries came in and they told us about Christianity. They told us about Jesus Christ. They told us about the angels who were white and the devil who was black. Then they turn around and say, the angels are desirable. They do the wonderful things. We must aspire to be like them. And they said, oh, by the way, we may not look like this white sheet of paper. Besides, remember, they introduced the color white and the color black. We didn't have that. So we know how black looks like. We know how white looks like. But they turn around and say, the angels are white and we are white too. Never mind how we look. We may not look like this piece of paper, but believe we are white. And we represent the angels. And you're black. You may not look like this cover of my phone, which is black. But you represent the devil. The devil is black. The devil is evil. We all must run away from the devil. You don't want to represent the devil. Oh, by the way, you may not look like this black piece of paper, but you're black too. Then now let's go to church. And we kneel down in front of the white angels, in front of white Jesus, who we know very well Jesus Christ was not white. Even their own Bible tells us he had crimson skin. We know for a fact that when Mary and Joseph were running away from King Herod, they were told to go to Egypt. Why? Because in Egypt, Jesus Christ would blend with those who looked more like him. If he was white, they would have told them to run to Europe. So we have all these obvious lies that we have been told. So for centuries, we have knelt and worshipped white Jesus and white angels and denied that which they told us represented us.
Realizing witchcraft. Without witchcraft, there will be no phone. There will be no computer.
I think I dispute that. For you to say witchcraft is phone. How?
Before you dispute, you would have had fact.
Let me hear.
You get my point?
Yes, please.
Now, witchcraft is an advanced science. Listen to this. From etymology, you can decipher the code. Why is it called witchcraft? Witch
And craft.
and the craft. Now, aircraft. Okay? What is craftsmanship? A craftsmanship is a set of skill that can be transferred from the knower to a seeker. Right? Which means it's a knowledge that you can transfer to another person. Right? So if the name is witchcraft, that means if you are a seeker and I transfer that esoteric knowledge to you, you will know. Now get my point now. The bedrock of invention is hidden under witchcraft. Are you listening? Now I'm about to blow your brain. Don't shout yet. Why is it that your programming language answers Oracle? Calm down, no. Don't shout. Why is it that your programming language answers Python?
These are main names given.
Main names.
Yes.
To you, it is main names because you don't understand numerology and nomenclature. There is nothing mere in Freemason. What is Freemasonry? Coding truth in plain language, but you will not understand. There is nothing mere in words because words are spell. Listen to this.
Yes.
When these people came to our land, they gave us a good spell. They casted a good spell on us. The word good spell is the etymology that gave you the word God spell. So they casted a spell on you, you fell for it. I am telling you that the bedrock of invention is witchcraft. You said how? I am trying to break it down to you. I pointed at one. The programming language. What is programming language? Do you know how to program?
Do you know
programming?
I have a little knowledge.
Now, I can write HTML5, Joomla, and Bootstrap. Now, the question becomes, as a programmer, JavaScript, Python, Oracle, when I look at the script, I laugh. Do you know why I laugh?
No.
For example, it will make sense now. The word pharmacy is from the word pharmakia, which means to conjure.
So the medicine you are taking is a product of witchcraft. Conjuring. Do you know that pharmacy means to conjure?
Yes.
I know.
Are you getting the sense now? So everything is embodied on witchcraft. But the thing is, which of the craft are they using? Which of the craft are they using? When the Igbo people says kaije nafa, koboyafa, they are trying to tell you that homonyms and homophone, every word that sound alike has connection.